Hello everyone, I'm really excited to get to share one of my most favorite self-care tools that I use. And I use this tool so much, sometimes as many as 20 times a day. And so this is called Running Dimensions. And I do this for a couple different reasons. One, because I'm feeling a little off. I just can't even put words to it, but just something doesn't feel quite right in my system. I'll check in where my dimensions are. Other times is if I know I'm going to be in a stressful situation or around people I call energy vampires, that when I'm around them, I just feel like they suck all the energy out of me. So I'm going to want to make sure I run my dimensions at that time. Another time I use it is if all of a sudden I just start noticing I'm bumping into everything on my right side, or I'm bumping into everything in front of me, or I have something just feels like there's no awareness behind me. If I feel off in any of those ways, I'm going to run my dimensions. So when you run your dimensions, it's something you can do either in the physical or in your mind's eye. You can do it by yourself, but I think it's even better when you do it with somebody else because our nervous systems are reading off of each other. So I invited my daughter Victoria to come in. Come on in, Victoria, thank you. To do this with me so that you guys can see how it's going to look different for every single person. My body really knows this work well, and so it can go pretty fast. Victoria's knows it pretty well too. She uses it for herself and for her horse, particularly in a horse rider situation. You want to make sure everybody's in alignment, in present time together. So just for safety purposes, it's a really smart idea to do. So know that when you're doing this, it's also affecting the people around you. So it's such a gift, a win-win all the way around. So what it's using is it's utilizing a universal reflex. And that reflex goes like this. Here's my pattern, here's my pattern, here's my pattern, hold. And in that hold is where all the magic happens. So you're reminding your body, you're reminding your body, you're reminding your body, and then you're pausing. And when you pause, the body goes, wait a minute. Oh, I know how to get back to our best comfort and function. And so that pause is really powerful. And you might have a little tiny movement, or you might have a very big movement that ends up happening. And so there's three parts to this. And the first one is we're going to check in with our head to our feet. And whichever we notice first, without judgment, a lot of people choose to close their eyes because they can kind of tune in a little better to their body. We're going to just check in and notice what we notice. So Victoria, what do you notice first?
I'm going to notice my feet.
Okay, and for me, I notice my head. So you're going to get to see both sides. And so again, you can do this very physically, or you can do this just in your mind's eye, in your energetic mind. And so I'm going to do it exaggerated on the film here so you can really see what this looks like, okay? And so we're going to go ahead and start, Victoria and I both, and we're going to go, here's your pattern, here's your pattern, here's your pattern, hold it, and then let your body find its way back to its calm, to its best comfort and function, to its homeostasis. And again, it might be very small or it might get very big. Everybody's body is very different, and there's no judgment of what's right or wrong here. I often will find myself taking a big breath in, and a big yawn out is really powerful. It's a real help for your body. And most often you'll find there's a tapering. There's it'll start slowly quieting down. And once it's getting down to that tapering off into infinity, we can just let it go and trust that the body's sorting itself out the way it's supposed to. You can give yourself a little shake, recheck back in. At this point, Victoria, which do you notice more, your head or your feet? Or do you feel more balanced?
I feel more balanced.
Okay, so I do too. If you did not feel more balanced, it's okay to do it a second time. Sometimes it'll even flip on you which side you need to do. Now that we feel more balanced from head to feet, we're going to do the next one is side to side, our left to our right. And you're just going to explore a little bit. Which way can you move with more ease? Which way did you notice first? And that's the way we're going to do the pattern. So for Victoria, which way is it for you?
The left.
To the left, and for me it's to the right. So good, we're just opposites today, which is perfect for you. So this is what it's going to look like. Here's my pattern, here's my pattern, here's my pattern, and hold, and then I'm going to let it come back whatever way it needs to. And sometimes with this one, I'll find that sometimes I'll get stuck. It feels like, wait a minute, I don't think it's done. I'm not back to center line. I'm just kind of stuck over on the other side. And it's always okay to do the pattern again. So here's my pattern, here's my pattern, here's my pattern, and hold. And let my body finish its sorting itself out. Victoria took a big breath. I was just about ready to do that too. And we can shake that out and recheck back in. So Victoria, how are you feeling left to right? Feeling more balanced?
Yes.
Great. Me too. Again, you can always do it a second time. Sometimes it'll flip on you which side you need to do, and that's okay to do. The last one is front to back. And I find, especially when I first started doing this, it was helpful for me to put my hand on my front and my back and really like physically feel for that space. And so what we're going to do is we're going to exaggerate whichever way you notice, whichever way you can move easier. Victoria, which way is it for you?
Forward.
Forward. Okay, so for me it's going to be back. And so I'm going to turn sideways as well so you can see it a little bit better. And so this is what it's going to look like. Here's your pattern, here's your pattern, here's your pattern, and hold. And then let it come back out. Whatever way it needs to go. Oh, I'm going to do a full circle here. With great big yawns. Yawns are huge, guys. They're a beautiful way your body's letting go of trauma. Then we can shake it on out. How are you feeling?
Pretty good.
Feeling really good. So when I learned about these, and I always like to share this at the end because I want you to be really tuned into your body the first time we go around. But when I learned about this, I learned that the top to bottom is considered your relationship to the universal and to the earth. The side to side is your relationship to self. And sometimes we don't always want to see everything within ourselves. So that's a big one, right? Next, front to back is your relationship from the future and the past. The first time I started doing this, my big realization is, oh my gosh, I had no recognition of my back energy. And I had this huge aha that, wow, I've had 4 car accidents, all of which I've been rear-ended in. Maybe because I had no awareness of this. I did not want to deal with my past. And so this is such a powerful tool, guys, to keep us into present. And once you start playing with this, you can practice and actually even start pushing your energy in different directions. So now when I drive, I actually use this as a tool for protection in the car. So to give you an example, I'll be driving and I'll feel somebody, I'll see somebody in the rearview mirror coming up kind of fast, and I'll just think about my back energy. Because I've done this so much, I can just think about it and I can feel kind of into my back, and all of a sudden you'll see the car behind me will back up. Same thing if a car gets too close to the side of me. It's really, really amazing to play with. Also, if I'm in a big crowd of people and I'm feeling like I'm kind of getting squished in, sometimes I'll push to the left or I'll push to the right. Or if I need to get through that crowd, I'll push it to the forward. Same thing also with driving. If I'm worried about animals coming in at night, I'll push my energy forward. So I want to encourage you to play with this, explore with a buddy, and really find your present time, because this is one of the best gifts I can ever share with you. Wishing you all great comfort and function.